Welcome back to our channel, dear friends. It is a gorgeous, sunshiny day to gather around and talk about our favorite folks in Port Charles. Let us jump straight into the heart of the matter because the drama is brewing hot today. I have to tell you, the latest leaks coming out about General Hospital have completely captured my attention, and I just cannot stop thinking about what might be coming down the pike. Word on the street is that another kidnapping is brewing right here in Port Charles, and it looks like a major hostage situation is about to unfold on our screens. Now, we all know that this town is no stranger to danger, and it seems like every few months, some poor soul is getting snatched up and held against their will. But this time around, the rumors are pointing toward a character who is currently walking down a very risky and unpredictable path. It just makes my heart heavy to think about it, because the person in the crosshairs is someone we have all watched grow up. Someone who has finally started to find her own footing in this complicated world. I am talking about our sweet Trina Robinson. Bless her heart, this young woman's music career is only just beginning to take off, and she is finally getting the chance to shine all on her own. For the longest time, I felt like Trina was constantly getting tangled up in the messy, complicated lives of her parents. Between Portia Robinson and Curtis Ashford, there has been enough family drama to last a lifetime. So, when the writers finally gave Trina a storyline that did not just revolve around her parents' marriage troubles or family secrets, I was absolutely thrilled. It is so wonderful to see her stepping into the spotlight, focusing on her passions, and building a life for herself. But as they say, no good deed goes unpunished in soap operas, and her newfound success has unfortunately attracted the attention of a very mysterious and very dangerous stalker. Let me tell you, when the show gave us that quick, fleeting glimpse of that creepy photo collage right after Quinn made his return, my blood ran absolutely cold. There is something so deeply unsettling about knowing that a sweet, innocent girl is being watched from the shadows. That collage was a clear warning sign, plain as day, that someone is obsessing over every move Trina makes. Naturally, with Quinn stepping back onto the canvas right when all of this is happening, everyone's first thought is that he must be the one behind it. He certainly seems to have taken a rather intense interest in Trina and her budding music career. It makes sense to point the finger at him, and I would not put it past him to be the one lurking in the dark, keeping tabs on our girl. However, knowing how these stories usually unfold, I cannot help but feel like blaming Quinn right out of the gate might just be a little too easy. We have been down this road before, and usually, the first person they want us to suspect is just a decoy. If you ask me, we might be barking up the wrong tree if we focus all our attention solely on Quinn. I have been keeping my eye on Simon, the music director, and let me tell you, something about him just gives me a funny feeling. In the music industry, men in positions of power can sometimes become incredibly controlling, wanting to mold and possess the talent they manage. It would not surprise me one bit if Simon, or perhaps another character entirely, is the real mastermind behind this terrifying stalking situation. It all depends on how the writers want to spin this web, but Simon certainly has the access and the opportunity to pull something like this off. Regardless of who is actually hiding behind that creepy collage, one thing is clear as a bell. Someone out there is completely obsessed with Trina, and that obsession is only going to grow darker and more dangerous as her music career continues to soar. When a stalker gets fixated on someone, they do not just stop at taking pictures. That kind of unhinged behavior always escalates. I am so worried that this stalker is going to become increasingly possessive, feeling like they own Trina and her talent. When people like that feel their control slipping, they often resort to bold, terrifying actions to get exactly what they want. That is exactly why I firmly believe this whole stalking nightmare is going to culminate in a horrifying kidnapping, leaving Trina trapped in a desperate hostage situation. It breaks my heart to think about Trina facing such grave danger, but from a storytelling perspective, this gives the writers a golden opportunity to deliver some truly gripping and edge-of-your-seat drama. Trina has spent so much time being the supportive daughter and the loyal friend, and now she is the absolute center of this massive, high-stakes mystery. This is not just a little bump in the road, this is a life-or-death situation that will test her strength in ways she has never experienced before. And let us not forget, this is not the first time Trina has been held hostage, and heaven help us, it probably will not be the last. But every time she faces adversity, she proves just how resilient and brave she truly is. Right now, Trina is just going about her life, completely unaware that someone is watching her every single move, plotting to snatch her away from everything she loves. I can just picture how this is going to go down, and it gives me the absolute chills. I imagine that she will just vanish into thin air at the absolute worst possible moment, leaving all of her loved ones in a state of sheer panic. Can you even imagine the terror that will grip Port Charles when they realize she is missing? Think about the night of a big performance. Giovanni Gio Palmieri will be there, getting his instruments ready, feeling the nervous excitement of the gig. He will be waiting backstage, expecting Trina to walk through the door with her beautiful smile, ready to take the stage. But the clock will keep ticking, and she will not show up. At first, he might just think she is running a little late, maybe stuck in traffic. But as the minutes turn into hours, that uneasy feeling will settle in his stomach. Gio is going to realize that something is terribly wrong, and he will be the one to sound the alarm, spreading the terrifying news that Trina is nowhere to be found. Once that news hits, Lord have mercy, the fallout is going to be devastating. I cannot even begin to fathom the sheer panic that will wash over Portia. A mother's love is a fierce thing, and the thought of her baby girl being held captive by some deranged stalker will absolutely shatter her. Portia is going to be beside herself with worry, pacing the floors, crying out for answers. And Curtis? Well, you better believe Curtis is not going to just sit around and wait for the police to do their jobs. That man will go into full protective father mode. He will use every contact he has, turn every stone, and knock down every door in Port Charles to find his daughter. The emotional toll this will take on her parents is going to be incredibly heavy to watch, but it will also show just how deep their love for her truly runs. And we certainly cannot forget about Trina's friends. Jocelyn Jax is fiercely loyal, and she loves Trina like a sister. Jocelyn is a firecracker, and if she finds out someone has taken her best friend, she is going to be on a warpath. She and Kai Taylor will likely team up, launching their own desperate search to find any clue that might lead them to Trina. The younger generation in Port Charles always bands together when one of their own is in trouble, and I am eager to see how Kai reacts to this crisis. Will he step up and prove himself to be a hero, or will the pressure be too much? The ripple effect of Trina's disappearance will touch every corner of the town, bringing everyone together in a frantic race against time. Now, hold your horses, because I have been saving the most exciting thought for last. As I was pondering this whole terrifying situation, a wild idea crossed my mind, and I just have to share it with you. What if this brand new story, this terrifying kidnapping plot, is actually setting the stage for one of the biggest, most shocking returns we have seen in years? What if the special someone connected to Trina's disappearance is none other than Spencer Cassadine? We have all been hearing the whispers and hoping against hope that Spencer might somehow make his way back to Port Charles, and this could be the perfect, dramatic way to bring him home. Just think about it for a moment. What if the person watching Trina from the shadows is not a malicious stalker at all, but actually Spencer, trying to keep an eye on the woman he loves without revealing that he is alive? Or what if the real stalker takes Trina, and right when all hope seems lost, Spencer emerges from the woodwork to save her? That would be the kind of sweeping, romantic, and utterly shocking twist that makes us fall in love with soap operas in the first place. If Spencer's return is the massive shock the show is keeping under wraps, it would turn this entire terrifying ordeal into an epic tale of love and survival. I am just sitting here, practically sweating bullets with anticipation, waiting to see how this all unfolds. I want Trina to be safe, of course, but I also want her to have a storyline that showcases her incredible strength, her talent, and her heart. The writers have laid down the groundwork for a truly spectacular mystery, and whether the culprit is Quinn, Simon, or someone completely out of the blue, I know we are in for a wild ride. And if this dark and scary road somehow leads us straight back to Spencer Cassadine, well, I think we will all be shedding tears of absolute joy. I will be watching every single episode, holding my breath, and praying for our sweet Trina. I just know you all will be right there with me, riding this emotional roller coaster every step of the way.